Now you're going to bring it over to the vertical belt sander, and we are going to try to sand this part flat along with this curve, this part flat, and try to curve the handle the best you can, just like that, the whole way around. So you have to reach over to the side, turn the switch on, keep this flat up against the table, push it straight in, and pull. Try to sand that flat just by pressing it in. And now your handle. Try to get as much in here as you can before you start to slowly rotate. Okay? And you can continue to do that until it's nice. And that's it for this machine. Then we can come over to the spindle sander. Notice this is round, so that's going to allow us to get into all of these round parts here and here, and even underneath here. Okay, so turn it on by flipping a switch underneath. And you need to hold this firmly with both hands, pressing it down up against the table, and push it right in against, and rotate until you get all of those divots out, and it's one smooth path. A nice smooth path the whole way around. Once your push stick is fully sanded the whole way around, we're going to come over to the router, and notice here this router has just a small curved edge. Okay, small curved edge. It's a small roundover, a 1/4 inch roundover, and we're going to round the edge of the handle so that it is nice and smooth. So this is one that was already finished. You can tell the difference. This is nice and round. This is not. There's a trick to doing this, and that trick would be taking these pointed pieces and aiming right towards the center of this. So when I'm doing this, notice the fence is back. So there's no guard here. You really have to watch where your fingers are. I'm going to take that pointed piece when it's on and aim right towards the middle, because if I don't, if I start over here, it's going to kick it back and forth. So I'm going to aim right towards the middle. Okay, I'll press in, and then I'm keeping force up against, but I'm not keeping my finger here. I'm keeping my hand here and one over here. And I'm slowly pushing against and rotating around the best I can, always keeping force towards the blade. Normally it will fall off right here, meaning as you try to make this turn, it'll come off like that. That's okay, you just got to watch your hand as that happens. Because then what you can do is you can rotate to reposition, and you can start again by doing it over here. So we are only doing the handle. We are not doing any of this. Okay, only the handle. So once you get this one side, and notice how I rotate, I'm going in a counterclockwise motion. I'm always forcing towards the blade. Once I've got this whole side finished, I'm then going to flip this over. You have to rotate your push stick again, point that right in the middle, and it's the same process. So right around the whole entire thing. So here we go. I turn it on. I make sure the air duct is open. Take the pointed edge, point it right towards the middle, watching my fingers. Okay, so I just pulled off. So I reposition, start again. Notice how close my fingers are. I need to be very careful. Flip it over, rotate, pointy part goes towards the middle. Okay, so it's rounded on both sides, nice and neat. you didn't do a good job sanding this before you did this stage, you will actually see every little bump. You could, however, go back, sand it again, and then come back over here to route it again. So once I have routed my push stick handle, I can come over to this bench, that's bench number 4, and underneath this cabinet here, you will find that we have small vertical belt sanders. I grabbed one of the hoses that we've used for sanding, and that doesn't necessarily fit in here, but you can just kind of lean it in. It's not real tight in there, but you can lean that in. That hose then gets connected over here to the sanding manifold that we have on the side. So notice when you lift up these flaps, you can twist that sanding hose in. Well, this manifold, when the shop vac is turned on, is sucking all of the air out of this, and it closes these manifold flaps. So that means all of your sawdust will travel through the pipe into this box and then down through the shop vac and into the shop vac. So you obviously have to have your shop vac plugged in, okay, just like it is up here, and it has to be turned on for this to work. To turn it on, there is a little switch up on top of this. So I'll turn that switch on. And once it's turned on, you can see how loud it gets. You can also see the suction. They go shut right away. So over here on my small vertical sander, I'm going to use this to sand in the small areas like there, like here, and up in here, okay? Once that is all done, you can use this same hose or another one, and that actually plugs in to the back of a hand sander. I'm going to turn this off so it's not so loud. But this actually plugs into the back of the hand sander. So you're going to have to twist this to get that on. Underneath your hand sander, notice you have this Velcro strip. Okay? Your sandpaper itself will actually connect on there, and you can peel it off. You need to start sanding with 120 grit. Okay? You can try to line these holes up with the holes that are on here, the best that you can. Just like that. The hose would obviously be on the back, and you're going to sand both sides and all of the different parts of your hand sander the best that you can using 120. When you're done, this gets pulled off, and you'll move up to 180. This also can get connected on there, and you can sand the entire thing.